Okay, so we have a new patient on the table here, on the operating table. This is a wire harness out of a 1986, 88. I think I have an 80. I can't remember what Jeff said, but it's out of a late, a late 300Z. Well, I think it's called a Z31. 300ZX, okay? And the plan is to use this as Jeff's wire harness for his car, for his L28et engine. And we have to make some modifications, right? For instance, this thing here plugs in and does a whole bunch of other stuff. This is going to be deleted and replaced with a fuel pump servo, I think it needs, and some output wires to drive the ignition module. I think that's primarily what this thing does. I think it also supplies an ignition start signal, if I'm not mistaken, but whatever. So that's going to go away. I have no idea what this is for. I don't know what this is for. They're gone. Out of here. What's that new Argentinian president said? Anyway, so I don't know what this is. This is gone too. Don't know what this is for. We'll get rid of that. I'm probably just going to cut all the tape, remove all the polished loom stuff, get this all out of here, and just have the bare wires. I have a single relay here. I'm pretty sure that's the EFI, the main EFI. This looks like probably what goes to the battery. That makes sense. I think both of these things are close to the battery. But again, this is a 300ZX, so I don't know about the layout of it at all. I have no idea what this thing is. I'll have to track that back. What else do we have here? That's obviously a ground. Jeff's got some of these things marked. Like that says O2. Obviously these are injectors. That's the fuel temp sensor. So this is a TPS. I don't know what this one goes to. That's a part of the TPS that I won't be using. And we've got more stuff down here. It looks like it's going to be the there's the airflow meter, and I don't know what those other two are. Probably air regulator or something like that. Anyway, so again, the idea here is strip this all completely down, eliminate the circuits that aren't going to be used, like for instance, no EGR, no FICD, no AAC. That's all gone. Anything that's some of the more complicated TPS stuff up there, any of the stuff that's not used on L28et will be deleted, and it'll just be just a basic circuits needed to run that particular setup. This is in contrast, if you recall how I did mine, which was a custom built one where I built it with the intention of making it so that you could toggle between the airflow meter and the mass airflow sensor. So we're not going to do that with Jeff's. Jeff just wants a straight up mass airflow sensor setup, so that's how we're going to build this one. And so consequently there will be a lot less reconfigured parts. Basically it's just deletion of wires that are not necessary and the addition of a relay, and probably in addition I'll probably use another one of those 6-prong plugs so I can plug it into my test stand easy. And the one thing Jeff will have to do is configure a 6-prong plug that mates with it. That's very easy to do. Most of the wiring is right there underneath the steering wheel, so it'll actually probably be easier for him to do that than anything else. So I'll show him how to make that adapter. But I want to do that because I want to be able to plug this in and test it on the test stand. And the test stand is set up just for that. So that's where we are. That's what's going to happen next. I can't think of anything else to add except to say we're going to get going pretty soon. I'm really looking forward to getting another one to see things running and see how it works. I did, by the way, do a little bit more. I went down to the junkyard, just a little kind of catch you up. I went down to the junkyard today. I could not find a excuse me, a 2-wire idle air bypass control valve. I looked at a couple of Volvos that were out there, and They had one was gone completely. The engine was gone. The other one had one, but was a 3-wire, not a 2-wire. 3-wire, I think, uses a third wire to return the you know, to close the valve, one and wire to open it in a common. I want a spring close and on to open, so I need a 2-wire setup. I did find a big old Mercedes sitting out there, but it looked like it was diesel. I don't know what they use idle air bypass for, but whatever. It looked like a diesel, but it had a perfect looking valve, except I checked the resistance on it. It was like 8 ohms. I tested it, you know, but that's 8 ohms, 12 volts. That's going to pull over, you know, over an amp, you know, wide open, an amp and a half. And I just don't know if that circuit in that thing is designed for that kind of current. So I didn't feel comfortable with that. I'm going to keep looking around there. I really need to find out. Maybe Jeff will be able to help me out with this. If I think he has a 300 turbo model, so we just need to get a resistance reading on that idle air bypass and see what it is. I'm hoping to be about, you know, the 40 ohm range, just like the L28's idle air control solenoid is. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, there it is. Like I said, it'll be coming to you shortly. When I start stripping these wires clear and bare, I'll come back and get some pictures. And the only other problem might be is, again, this was configured for a 300ZX with a VG turbo engine, or that's a V configured engine, with, you know, completely different from what we're trying to do. So I don't know, like this wiring from the firewall right here. I mean, that's a lot of wire for an L28 configured setup. Okay, so I'll probably want to pull this firewall plug back some, gaining yourself some room on this side of the firewall. You know, this I think is going to be too short to go all the way over to the battery post. So what I'll probably do is configure it, test it on the engine run stand, and once we know it's working, I'll try to find any shortcomings in the wiring or long, if it's too long, and we'll have to make some adjustments and tweaks. But I'd rather do that than try to build a whole nother one from scratch, because frankly that was a pretty big effort, and I don't really like the idea of unleashing some of my homebrew stuff like that on an outsider. I don't mind me building stuff that screws up, but I don't like to build things for other people and then they have problems with it. I'd rather have a more factory setup. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.